Good afternoon. So got asked this question yesterday which was, are some vegetables better than others? Okay, so are some vegetables better than others? Now, it's an interesting question because it's right in the nitty gritty of things. If you think about it, most of us probably just need to eat more vegetables. But when we say the word better, we need to understand what it means, and I'll be honest, I've worked with lots of people over the years who have come to me and said that they've been told that parsnips are bad, carrots are full of sugar, they should avoid starchy vegetables, etc. And they're really blanket statements, and I know this sounds really kind of cliche, but it really does depend. It depends on you and what you mean better for what. So I'll break it down. So better for weight loss. Now, weight loss just comes down to calories in, calories out. No matter how you do it, that's the principle. The tools are Slimming World, Weight Watchers, calorie counting, write down what you eat, mindful eating. You've got exercising more, which is a hard way of doing it. Higher protein diets, keto. They're all tactics to achieve a calorie deficit, however you do it. Eating low calorie ice cream for some. They're all tactics. That's what it comes down to. So technically, if you're being picky and looking for the 1% here, then sticking to more green vegetables would lower your calories, right? Because starchier vegetables will be slightly higher in calories. Now, that doesn't mean, however, that you have to avoid them, because it's always worth asking the question of what's the alternative? What's the alternative? So, for example, last night we had bolognese with meatballs in. So meatballs, not bolognese, sauce. And we had courgette with a spiralizer. We often do it with carrots as well. And if the alternative is pasta and you're on a lower calorie diet, not that pasta is necessarily bad for everyone, I'll go on to that in a second. But if you're gluten-free or celiac, IBS, maybe it could be an option to use courgette as an alternative. Now, or carrots as an alternative, potentially. Now, so that's weight loss. So really, I wouldn't really worry about it. If I've never heard of anyone eating too many carrots, and that's the reason why they're not losing weight. But anyway, on to the other reason why some might be better or worse than others. Might be more to do with, and this came up as well, this was kind of what they were asking about, was IBS and bloating and stuff like that. Now, there are some that are going to be worse than others for this. So, raw vegetables, raw carrots and maybe in general, then things like fruits as well, like apples, bananas, real fibrous carbs, like whole grains, and you've got like lentils, beans, broccoli, sprouts, cabbage. These are all going to be more fermentable because of the fibre in them. So they can potentially cause more bloating and trigger IBS. So when you say the word better, it's always worth considering better for what. And that doesn't mean that these are bad for you because they do that. But if the symptoms are causing issues, then it's worth looking at. And if you do get bloating and flatulence a lot, just notice the difference if you actually just cut them foods down and just stick to more like, say for argument's sake, I gave you, like I said, like greens, like courgette, spinach, kale. Like they're not very fermentable, they're quite easy to digest. There's also the dose as well, because if you eat loads of raw carrots as a snack, it's a great snack, but for some people that can actually trigger their IBS a bit. So always consider better for what with its IBS, bloating, etc. What I would say though is don't stress about the small things overly, massively, like we all do, and just notice that essentially if you're eating more vegetables, you're probably going to eat fewer calories. And a part of that is because fibre will fill you up more, hence why it causes a bit of bloating, flatulence. But so always consider the question of better for what? Better for what? And when you ask the question of, okay, what's the alternative? That will probably give you the answer. So, okay, are carrots high in sugar? Well, what would you eat instead? I don't know, a pack of crisps. Well, carrots going to be low calorie and a better option, right? I wouldn't worry about the sugar. If you're worrying about the sugar in carrots, I don't think life's worth living. Anyway, hope that helps. Don't worry about it, don't stress the small stuff, and just ask the question, what's the alternative? That will probably give you the answer. Hope that helps. Speak soon.